the bye week, the Boise State Broncos are ready for some action, and they face off against Utah State tomorrow with quite a bit on the line. Paul Gerke and Mike Sharp, they've been there for many hours now. They're in Logan with much more.
Hey there, Tara. We're outside of Romney Stadium right now. We're unlike in Fresno, where it was 90 degrees and they left the lights on for us. They turned the lights off, and it's about 15 below.
They also left a giant person to watch over us and make sure we don't do anything wrong. So
it's a life-size statue of Merlin Olsen, Aggie's great.
You may not know, he was 9 feet tall and made of bronze, I think.
That made him an unstoppable NFL player. It's why the Rams took him in the first round of the draft. Anyway, let's talk about the football game tomorrow. Broncos and Aggies playing for the top spot in the Mountain Division and the easy path to the Mountain Division Championship game. The Broncos had their walkthrough earlier this afternoon. Boise State and Utah State kind of like long-lost pals that haven't seen each other in a few years. This is the third league the Broncos and Aggies have shared. BSU 13-4 all-time against Utah State, winning every meeting since 1997 when both schools were still in the Big West. It's a sort of recipe for a rivalry: recent success, geographic proximity, and mutual respect from each other.
Oh, they're a lot better than we played them last time. Yeah, completely different team, program, all those things. I mean, these guys are good. There's no question about it.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Pete and the coaches in that complex and the things that they've done to build that program. They've done it the right way. They're blue collar. They work hard. You know, the road to the Mountain Championship goes right through Boise.
I'm starting to have a mutual respect for the cold weather and the effect that it has on my lips and their ability to move and say words in English. Some of the luster from this game sort of taken away by the injuries the Broncos and Aggies have suffered over the last few weeks, but those injuries have sort of given other players opportunities to shine, like Broncos safety Dylan Lukehart. You know, it's such a cool story for Dylan Lukehart. He's finally getting a chance to play some real minutes on the field, but he's not the first Lukehart to do that. I sat down with his dad as well as him to find out a little bit more about this father-son duo that have Bronco heritage running in their veins.
I remember when I was like 10 years old, 12 years old, standing in the end zone, just full body paint and blue, and just all the way through high school and middle school, just watching the games, just dreaming of playing here.
Dylan Lukehart's dream came true, and he now wears the number 28 for Boise State after a lifetime of rooting for the Broncos. And his road to the blue turf started a long time before Boise State was the program it is today.
It's not like the old days. Everybody worked and tried to make a living, you know, or save their money up for school. Football is pretty much your job now.
Dylan's job was once held by his own father, a member of Boise State's 1980 national championship team, a game with a piece of hardware his father still wears. And Dylan hopes he will someday too, knock on wood.
He talks a lot about that game and how much that meant to him and how he wears his ring still.
A national championship at this level now is surely a lot bigger than ours was. But to us in little Boise back in 1980, it was pretty cool.
If nothing else, it gives the redshirt sophomore something to hope for, something to motivate him. And that's something his father has always excelled at.
In high school, I would wake up and he would just be banging pots and pans, just screaming, game day, and he'd make pancakes and stuff, just super excited about it.
Now, Dylan has grown up, and game day is just a little different, just a text between father and son, a text from a dad who taught him to appreciate his time on the field.
Playing here now, actually playing, is just a dream come true, and just can't take it for granted and just enjoy it every day.
You know, that was just such a cool experience to sit down with Dan and kind of talk to him a little bit about his relationship with his son. He says it doesn't matter where he ended up to play college football, he still would have been traveling. And if he's traveling right now, I feel like I need to call him and tell him to bring a jacket, because we actually just had a police officer stop and check on us and ask us, why are you outside at this hour? It's a terrible idea.
He said it gets windy at 9 o'clock, which is convenient because that's when our show starts. We told him to send reinforcements in around midnight to make sure we haven't died of hypothermia. As much as we'd love to get somewhere warm, we're on your sidelines, and we don't use that term lightly. We're going to be out here for the rest of the night on Fox 9 and our sister station Today 6. I'll have a preview of the Broncos and Aggies game coming up in sports, plus Steelheads highlights opening their exhibition season here in Utah. For now, live outside Romney Stadium and in front of this big scary statue, I speak English. Paul Gerke, Mike Sharp, Fox 9 on your side.